I just want to quickly say today that I do find it, and Senator Udachak touched on this, I do find it deeply disturbing that so many members of this board have not made the decision to participate in any way in today's meeting. And it's equally disturbing to me that Chairman Keith Foster directly and emphatically dissuaded members from attending the meeting today. By the way, in the executive session that we had previous to this, a meeting that included an informative and useful session with Council Dunham. Moreover, in his recent communication, Chair Mosser has suggested that this meeting and our focus on what many of us really believe is the most important fiduciary responsibility in front of this board is merely a distraction from more important issues that are facing Penn State. In fact, in a December 10th email to all of us, he says, and I'm now going to quote, "I continue to be concerned by the single-minded focus and the steady stream of resolutions that have required enormous amounts of trustee time spent on one issue and deflected attention from a wide range of vital university issues. I really have to say today, sorry, Mr. Foster, but I find your argument on this matter to be specious, inaccurate, and insulting to me and to many of my colleagues on this board. I'm not going to belabor what I'm about to tell you, but just to give a flavor for this, and this could be any of us reporting with fame, I serve on 3 committees on this board: Business and Finance, Academic Affairs and Student Life, and Subcommittee on Building and Architecture. I was recently one of 3 trustees that helped the selection of the design and build partner that's going to work with us on the complete refurbishment and the modernization of East Hall, which is going to take over a dozen years and many, many millions of dollars. I've spent a lot of time in the last year making efforts with Trustee Harpster and others to refocus the entire agenda for the Academic Affairs and Student Life Committee on initiatives that are squarely aimed at the quality of teaching and learning outcomes at Penn State. Up until recently, as a lot of people know, this committee was spending time on God knows what, unimportant topics or unfocused. We're now really beginning to focus on the things that move the needle at Penn State. And I mean by that, faculty and student results, engagement, things like how much a degree at Penn State costs, things like what the return on investment on a Penn State degree is, things like measuring student outcomes and employability, time to degree metrics that Dr. Barron's talking about, student engagement, how our kids, learn outside the Penn State classroom, just to name a few. I'm one of a handful of trustees that's been asked to work on the Middle States accreditation process that we're going through right now. A 140-page self-study evaluation report. I'm working, 2 or 3 of us are working with Vice Provost Bowen on that report to give feedback. I was selected as one of the trustees to serve on a special task force to review and improve Penn State's presidential selection process, something that, in my opinion, needs a lot of work. It was my initial recommendation to the governance committee that this task force be formed in the first place. And I recently met with a bunch of our student leaders, undergraduate and graduate, to talk to them about the new initiatives that they've got going on in terms of open source instructional materials, how open source content can be used in curriculum and coursework at Penn State. Business and finance, we're very heavily involved in the Hershey Medical School right now. All the M&A work is going on with Hershey Medical. I'm sure many of you have read about the mental health system and some other projects. My point is, my engagement on this board is 110%, and I can tell you that is exactly the same for all of my alumni elected trustees. My attendance at all meetings and interim meetings and planning sessions and conference calls and everything else we do on this board has been 100%. I won't belabor other points, but I've visited 10 Penn State campus locations during my first year as a trustee. I've presided over 4 commencement ceremonies, as many of us have. Alumni Association events where I've been a key speaker, 2 Penn State Capitol days. One of the ones where I first met Senator Udachak, I think. It's not meant to be an exhaustive list, nor is it meant to be a list to blow my own accomplishments. My colleagues here today have similar lists, but I'm going through this to say emphatically that I do not feel the least bit distracted by the work at hand today, nor do I feel that I'm not spending enough time on other issues that face Penn State. The alumni elected trustees, and I think I can speak for all of us now, are tired of having people on our own board trying to frame our willingness to fight hard against the NCAA and protect our universities as a distraction. We're tired of being portrayed as people who are single-minded and don't have the best interest of the university at heart. We are tired of having the chair of this board insinuating that we don't care enough about the nearly 100,000 students that attend Penn State. You can disagree with us, if you like, in terms of our position on the NCAA, the consent decree, the free report, etc. But I want people to stop suggesting that we are somehow not doing our job as part of the effective governance of Penn State. Most of our alumni base at Penn State believe that it is those of you who disagree with us who are not participating in effective governance and not fulfilling your fiduciary obligations to Penn State. We're all in this governance job together, and we, the alumni elected trustees, are pulling more than our fair share of the weight. Disagree with us if you like, but stop disrespecting us. It is beneath you to do so, and I, for one, am sick and tired of it. Thank you, Trustee LeBron.
Trustee LeBron.